Okay, so today we're going to go over the reports that are available in Clarity, and hopefully you guys have looked at them already and noticed that there are very many reports. So this is the agenda for today. Oh, and if you can just enter the name of your agency in the chat box like we do at the user meetings, that way we know who has attended today. So there are a lot of reports available in Clarity. But we narrowed it down to this list because we think these are the most relevant based on the most common reports we use in AdsysTech and also the questions we've been getting since the go live about the kind of data that you guys want to pull. So if you have a question about like specific data that you want to get out of a report, you can feel free to put that in the chat at any time. And if I can't think of anything, I'll probably ask you to enter a ticket so I can look into that more. But I think this list should cover most of your reporting requirements. So if you want to follow along with me, that is the wrong screenshot. So we're going to log into HMIS first, and we will go to the reporting library. So how you get there is you go over to this little grid button, click on it, and click Reports. So unlike AdsysTech, you don't have access to ad hocs here. These are all management reports, what we used to call management reports that are created by Clarity. The ad hoc system in Clarity is much different than in AdsysTech, so we will be sending out more information about that at a later date. So there are 3 options for exporting your reports in Clarity. The first, and this will make more sense once we actually start running them. The first is a web page. So it opens a new tab and it's kind of interactive. You can click on it to see which clients fall under which category in the report. Then you can download a PDF or an Excel like you used to in AdsysTech. And not every report will have all 3 of these options. Excuse me, some of them only have web page and Excel. Some of them only have Excel. So we're going to start with some HUD standard reports. So these will not be relevant to everyone, but we just wanted to go over the big ones. This one is relevant to everyone. So this is the HMIS data quality report. The most important thing to keep in mind about the HMIS data quality report is that it only includes clients whose enrollment in the reporting period is their latest enrollment. So if they've had multiple enrollments during the reporting period, they're only going to show up once, and that'll be for their latest program stay. Okay, so we'll run this one. So all the sections of the training, these all correspond to different sections in the Clarity reporting library. So we're going to start in the HUD report section. And we will run the HMIS data quality report. We click Run. So program type, program status, this shows up on most reports. And you can choose either all programs, active programs, or inactive programs. So I'm just going to do all. Oh, I need to get into an agency first. You will not have to do what I just did. Okay, so these are all of our different training projects. I'll just select all of them and we'll run this for a month. For the HMIS data quality report, there's this special parameter called report output mode. So you can choose between the regular report, which would be the summary in AdsysTech, or the details report, which would be the details. So we'll do regular just to look at it first, and we'll do the web page so I can show you what I mean about the clicking on the results. So when you click run, the report gets added to your report queue, which is up here. You can X out of this, and it usually takes a couple seconds, and yeah, you'll get another pop-up. Now you can open it. Okay, so this is what the report looks like. So all of these numbers, we can click on them. So if I wanted to look at all of my stayers, I click here on 32, and these are all of my stayers that are showing up on this report. Then we can come down to the other data elements, and let's see. So we have 11 clients who have a data issue with their social security number. So I would look at all of these clients to see what that data issue might be. An example of a data issue would be a client who has a complete social security number entered, but the data quality code is don't know, refused, or data not collected. Or it could be the opposite, where a client has no social security number entered like this one, and the data quality code says full social security number. So that's what that looks like. Does anyone have any questions about the HMIS data quality report? So we'll move on to the APR and the CAPR. I put these together because the parameters for them are the same and the conversion process is also the same. So we will do the APR, which again is under HUD reports, annual performance report. For the COC filter category, you always want to choose agency COC, and the COC is always Orange County COC, which is the only option. Allison asked, is there a similar report that can be run if there are duplicate entries in a program? Yes, there is. That will be covered in the program-based report section. For the APR and the CAPR, you'll see this apply client location filter. You should always have that as no. And same with this next parameter, legacy feature service-based funding source, not based on funding source, which should be your only option. So for the APR, I'm going to export this one as Excel, even though I could run it as a web page and we'd be able to do everything we just did on the data quality report with clicking on the errors to see the clients who have those errors, but we're going to do the conversion. So if you are running your APR, first you should run it as a web page to do your corrections. Then when you have finished all of your corrections, you're going to want to download it as Excel. And then these reports that you've run will stay in your queue, I think, for a day, and then they'll automatically get deleted. So I'm just going to delete this now because we're going to have a lot in here. And then for Excel, it will automatically download, so you won't be able to view it in Clarity before you download it. And this is what it looks like when you open it. So each tab is one question on the APR. So this is the file that you will want to convert to CSV. So to do that, I'm going to go to the CSV conversion tool, which is here. And there's a link to this in the knowledge base article that we have on this process. So if you go to the help desk and just search like CSV, the article will pop up. Okay, for the APR and the CAPR, we only want to use these October 2017 options. And then we've been getting reports that people are having issues with the email zip file option. So I like to do the download zip file option instead. It seems to be less prone to error. So I click select file, and I'm going to select my APR file, and then just click process. And click save. Now I have my zip file, and this is what can be uploaded into Sage. Any questions on the APR or the CAPR? The process is exactly the same for the CAPR. Oh, and in the PowerPoint, we linked to the article. So this is where you'll click to get to the tool that converts your Excel file to a caper, to a CSV. Okay, I don't see any questions, but if you think of one, feel free to put it in. So the path report it pulls information from these different screens, and it has kind of one tricky parameter. So I wanted to go over that just in case. So that's under HUD reports as well. So this parameter is called geocode, but the option you want to select is Orange County COC, and that's it. The rest is pretty self-explanatory. So this will only show path-funded programs, and then you'll select your reporting period as usual and export to whatever you need it for. Okay, still no questions. So we're going to move on to email reports. And I only chose one of these to show you guys. So I think this is the only one that's really relevant right now. The other ones are more about bed availability, and we don't have that quite set up yet. So this is the monthly staff report, and is Rose here? This report reminded me of Rose's staff report cards, so I hope she'll find this one useful. I think it's pretty cool too. So now we'll go to the email report section, and we will run the monthly staff report. This one's super simple. You just choose a reporting period. Okay, so this report is kind of like a report card for your agency's data entry performance. So up here we have your agency average data entry timeliness in days. So our fake agency is at 2 days, which is good. Then it shows you the overall scores for refused, don't know, and data not collected. And then it breaks down all this information by staff member. So you can see how many unique clients this person has added, how many new clients that's within the reporting period, your staff person's average timeliness, any staff who have had no activity during the reporting period. So this is helpful if you need to send us user revocation of access forms. You can run this report periodically just to see who hasn't been active. And then there's some more statistics down here broken down by data element. Any questions on the monthly staff report? Okay, so we'll move on to service reports. Sorry, we got a question. Which report is similar to the aging report? Mia, we'll get to that. I think it's the very last one. The client service aging report. Okay, so there are quite a few service-based reports. We're just going to go over a couple of them that I thought would be the most helpful for you guys. So the first one is the client list report. So it lists the details of all the clients according to their household status who have received whatever service you select in your parameters. So here I have under my OC training agency, these are all the services that we have under this training agency. And I do not know which one we've been using most often. So let's see. I'm just gonna select a section of them. Then I can also select by veteran status. I'll just select it all. And the matching criteria, so When you've selected all of your services up here, you can choose to either show clients who have received any of these services. So if someone just received this one, or you can choose to show clients who have received all of the services that you've selected. So I'll do any just to make sure we get at least a couple clients on this report. And I'll leave it as a web page. Okay, so these are all the clients that received the services that I selected in my parameters. And this is the list of the services that we selected. So if I click on them, I can see the client's kind of basic demographic information, whether or not it's filled out. Okay, any questions on the client list? Okay, so we'll move on to service summary. This one is kind of similar, but it shows you a list of clients who have received whatever service. So this report shows the service in the blue section, and then under the service are the service items in white. So these are all the service items that are under this service and the number of clients who have received them. So we've only got a couple here. So for this bed night one, we have 2 unique clients, and we can see which clients they are and the number that they've received. Okay, I'm going to keep going since we don't have any questions. The last service-based report that we're going to talk about is the client demographics report. So this report shows the client demographic details for whichever services you've selected. So you can look at the demographics of clients who have received a food service or whatever else you're looking for. I'm just going to leave that at all this time. So first we have our client demographics report. So it breaks down age and gender of clients. And these are all of the services that I selected. So I selected all of my services in this agency, so they're all going to show up here. But you could just select 1 or 2 to see this same information. Okay, so the first program report we're going to look at is the program data review. So this shows us some basic information about the client's data. So you just choose your program, then you choose your status. So this one doesn't have a reporting period. It's based on it's kind of based on the day that you're running it. So if you choose active, it'll show you all clients that are active as of right now. And then you can also choose between these different lengths of time for the client to have been exited. So we'll look at our active ones. Yeah, so this one's really simple. This one is not clickable because it shows you everything right here on this screen. So it will just tell you whether or not the client has missing entry or exit data. So what I would do for this client is copy this into the search and then look at the program entry screen to see what's missing for this client. The next one is the program roster. So this is kind of like how we used to search on the agency client listing page to see a list of active clients. It will show us that depending on which selection we make for this parameter. So our options here are active within the report date range, which is what we're going to be the most familiar with. But we can also choose to see only clients whose program entry date is within the reporting period that we select, or if the client exited within the reporting period that we select. So I'm going to leave it as active since I know we have some clients in there. Okay, so this one also is not clickable. Oh, I guess it is. It will take you right to the client's profile. That's pretty cool. So yeah, just shows you the client's age at entry, their current age, length of stay, how many services they've received, and how many assessments they've received. Unfortunately, this doesn't differentiate between annual assessments and updates. So if a client has more than one, which none of these do, it could mean that they have an annual assessment and an update, or multiple updates or multiple annual assessments. So if you are trying to find out which clients are due for an annual assessment, there's not a perfect way to do that, but one way to do it is to run this report for whatever time period, look at the length of stay, and look for any that are over 335, which would give you the plus or minus 30-day window that is required to add an annual assessment. And then if any of the clients with that length of stay have 0, you know they definitely don't have an annual assessment. Okay, hold on, just reading a question. For the program data review, is there a report that will tell us the missing data? Because when I pull it, every client has seven missing entry data. And when I look, it shows everything answered. Amanda, that's probably a ticket, but we could also, so I'm going to skip the potential exits report and come back to that. And let's look at the program details report first, because that should help you there. I also had a lot of missing data, almost all records in April. Okay, great. Mia, that's probably also a ticket, especially if these were clients that were created in Clarity as opposed to migrated over. So if both of you can submit tickets about this, if the Amanda, if this report doesn't show you the missing data with the client's identifiers, that way we can look at it. Program details. So this is the one that is the most like the universal data elements details reports and the program-specific details reports that we had in AdsysTech. So what you do is you choose your program. You can choose multiple if you want to. And then the screen type is where you select what data you want to see in terms of the question. So for entry data, that will show you the data that was valid as of the client's entry. Status and annual assessment will show you those questions. Then you can also select exit data or follow-up assessment. So we'll just look at entry right now. And I'll choose active enrollments. And see, this one only gets exported as Excel because it's just a details report. Okay, so the first tab in your Excel file will be the names of the programs that you ran the report for, and then your data will be in the second tab. So it'll just be a long Excel file of the questions for whatever screen you selected. So we selected the entry screen, which means we're going to be seeing the entry questions. So this is the data that was answered upon the client's entry. So Amanda, check this one out, and if you're still not seeing it, submit a ticket. Or I'm sorry, if this report shows data as missing, but it isn't missing in HMIS, submit a ticket. Okay, so Mia, this is the one that is basically the same as the client service aging report, the potential exits report. Emergency shelter. So I'll do mine for last week, and we'll leave it at web page. Okay, so this is going to show me all clients who haven't received a service since my cutoff date, which was 4/26. So these are all of my clients who haven't received a service within that time. So you can choose any cutoff date you like. And nothing's clickable here. So it will only show the last service they received, no matter what the service item was. Okay. Do we have any more questions? Can anyone think of data that they want to pull that we didn't cover in any of these reports? Where's the exit report located? It's in the program-based reports section, fourth one down. Is there a report that shows only heads of households and not everyone in the family? What data are you looking for, Amanda? Enrollment data. So what came to me off the top of my head is the program data review, which you could run. There isn't a parameter for head of household, but what you could do is run the report and then you can filter it over here on column B for relationship to head of household to only include self. Then you can, these are all the heads of household. Mia, that's the one we were just looking at. Which report did you run that was similar to the UDE? It's the program details report, which is also in the program-based reports section. It's down here. Allison, will there be ad hoc reporting available? Yes. I don't have a lot to share about that right now, but we're hoping to share more at the next user meeting, unless Erin wants to chime in. I didn't think so. Any last questions, anyone? Okay, so it looks like questions have stopped. So we're going to put the recording of this training up on, I guess it's YouTube, and then we'll put it on our website, and we will also send out a wrap-up email with the PowerPoint again and a link to the video. So thanks for attending everyone. I hope you found it helpful, and I hope you continue to explore all of these dozens of reports. Okay, bye everyone.